Hello, everyone. Maryann here, revealing light, tarot, astrology, and spirituality. Wherever you are in the world when you're watching, a huge shout out to you. Well, a lot's happened since, when I recorded last toward the end of the week. And of course, I came on specifically because we had the conviction. The jury came back and found the ex-president, Donald Trump, guilty on all counts. Amazing. Okay, so let's take a look. I did cover in that reading whether I thought he would go to prison. I said I didn't see him in a mainstream prison. Is that house arrest? Is that a fit for purpose type of facility? It's possible. It is actually possible. What I did get a huge draw to was fairly severe financial penalties, and I think the more he opens his mouth, the more we'll see that coming to fruition. It's like he gives the judge no other choice. Now, over the weekend, of course, we've had the MAGAs, Make America Great Again cult, really coming out and it's surprised me actually, the emotion and the emotional charge behind their words. And of course they're threatening the judge. They're threatening there are attempts to try and dox jury members. The key witness, Stephanie Daniels, or Stormy Daniels, wore a bulletproof vest into the court. She is very concerned about her personal safety, as has been Michael Cohen, another of the key witnesses. The judge in particular, the judge's family. I mean, it is really, what can I say? It's more than over the top. It's getting quite dangerous. And so I think the more that Trump does this, the more that he riles up his base and encourages this violent rhetoric, I think that leaves the judge no other choice, even though it's going to be, whatever happens, it's going to be explosive. Now, we know that the RNC, you've seen my videos, my astrology videos on the RNC conference. Something massive happens at that conference. It's there in the astrology. I've also talked about Ghislaine Maxwell, who is actually writing a book after conferring with a fellow psychic about this, who is thinking that something's about to drop on Epstein, or could be about to drop on Epstein. So much is going on. I decided to take a quick look at the July 11th sentencing astrology and put that with Trump's chart to see if we can get a handle on what might be coming. I think it's fines. I think it's definitely big fines. And there is the possibility. Now, remember, predictions aren't an exact science. Every time I ask this question, I see him in bed. I see his illness. And so does that mean that this madness of his will result in incarceration? I think it's a possibility. I think there's a possibility. I just don't see a mainstream prison. Now, what form that takes, I don't know. But there could be some form. And I want to say that there could be some form of incarceration for Trump. And I know I'm going against the experts when I say that. Definitely the big monetary fines. Anyway, I think whatever happens is going to shock us. That's the astrology of this time. Let's take a look at the quick look at the chart and see if that gives us any indications of what might be coming down the pipeline for him. Okay, so we get Mr. Trump, convicted felon Trump on the inner ring. And for those that stumble upon the channel, go and look at the origins of the channel. This was started to when this person was elected, and I've spent the last however many years since then wondering, when people are going to wake up to the fact that this person is quite dangerous and is a liar and a con fraudster. And of course, all these court cases and charges and convictions are reflecting that. Okay, let's have a quick look at this chart. Okay, so the inner ring is Mr. Trump and the outer ring are the transits. I've set that for around midday in Manhattan, New York. I don't know what time the sentencing is going to come about, so I've just done my best. It's likely to be, I don't know, late morning. It wouldn't be late afternoon. So I've just taken a punt here. So the chart would change depending on the time, slightly would change depending on the time of sentencing. So remember, these readings are for entertainment purposes only. It's not an exact science, as I keep saying. And it's up to me to interpret what spirit gives me with my human fallibility. And more often than not I get it right, but sometimes I get it wrong. Astrology also can give us themes. It's I don't use astrology as a predictive tool. I rely on my clairvoyance for that. But anyway, enough rambling, let's get on with this. Okay, so the two houses that would be most significant, or three houses, four houses, let's just keep going. The main houses I'd be looking at would be the second house, which is our finances, our personal wealth. And we see here that Trump has Neptune, Chiron, and Jupiter in Libra. Now, it's odd, isn't it? Because Libra is the sign of justice, equilibrium, fairness, and the law. And we get here watery, malleable Neptune in his second house of wealth. Okay, so I think that's played out. And then we get Chiron. There's a wound here around money. And then we get Jupiter, of course, his expansion. And so this is kind of both his bad luck and his good luck in relation to his money and how he projects himself. But also Neptune there in Libra can indicate a lie, can indicate conning and a lie here. And so this is his natal chart. Now, what is here transiting on the 11th? Well, good old Jupiter. Sorry, not Jupiter. Good old Libra is on the ascendant here. So Libra, I can't make this up. Fairness, balance, justice, the law is in this second house, which lends me to believe that the law is going to hand down a significant monetary penalty. And consequently, I just had to put in Black Moon Lilith here, this little glyph here, this half moon glyph. Black Moon Lilith is our shadow side. It's what we want to hide, what society might be considering taboo, and that is right on his Neptune here. Conjunct his Neptune. And so we see that the seeds, so to speak, the seedy nature of this case, it's almost like with the South Node. Again, the North and South Nodes are all about South Node is about what we need to let go of. And it's about endings. The North Node is about this current lifetime and what our purpose in this current lifetime. Well, for Trump, the transiting North Node is in the 8th house. The 8th house, as we know, endings, transformations, beginnings, death. So yeah, this is layered. It's the way it's going to play out. It's not a physical death, but there's definitely endings and downfalls screaming in this chart, or this current chart here, when I stack it up against his natal chart. Now, the other house I'm concerned with is the 12th house, which, among other things, is the house of spiritualism. It's the house of, the subconscious, the collective subconscious, but it can also be institutions, and among those institutions is prison. So what do we see transiting at the time? We see Mercury here, Mercury in Leo, Mercury, the messenger of the gods, communication, the mass viral nature of things can sometimes be represented by Mercury. And that is in the 12th house over Trump's Mars and Pluto. So, well, actually, it's sitting between Pluto, the power, the underworld, the things coming up from underneath that can be the corruption as well. Mars being explosive, and so again, Mercury sitting in there. There's going to be some kind of announcement that's rather going to be a little bit explosive. And we've got Venus there, Venus in Cancer. And so whatever this announcement is, whatever this sentencing is going to really produce a lot of emotion, particularly amongst his MAGA followers. The other relevancy here, I guess, is in the 11th house, networks, community, can be also... can look at the way we communicate through virtual communities as well, social media. The sun is in Cancer again, so there's going to be a great deal of feeling. It's conjunct his Saturn and his natal Saturn and Venus again in Cancer, Mercury in Cancer. I just see that whatever this sentencing is probably going to be a little bit more severe than what we think. We think, well, he'll probably just get, some kind of fine that will mean nothing to him. He'll just grift off that, and it won't really affect him too much. And he'll probably just get a slap on the wrist and probation. I think it's going to be a little bit more than that. I think the fine's going to be reasonably substantial. Could take into account the way that he's not expressing any remorse after being found guilty on all counts. And I think the judge is going to want to send a message about this fraud. We already know his organization has a criminal conviction for fraud. We already know in the civil courts he's got a massive judgment against him for 100 and something odd million. And so I think the judge is going to want to, given what's happened in the past, going to want to impose a reasonably hefty fine. I just think with Mercury there in that 12th house, Venus there in that 12th house, the nature of the announcement being rather explosive, that we could see some kind of incarceration. But again, I want to say I just do not see him carted off to a mainstream prison. I just don't see that. Whatever, I would not like to be in the judge's shoes, because we've already seen just how volatile this actually is. The leader of the House, Republican MAGA leader of the House, saying he knows the Supreme Court judges and they're all very concerned about this. There's been a lot of questions about, will this go to the Supreme Court? Most likely, however, that would take a lot of time if and when the Supreme Court would want to hear that, and it would be well and truly after the election. It's got to go through the New York State appeals processes, and then finally to this. If the Supreme Court took it up, this is a state. It's nothing to do with federal. It's not a federal prosecution either. It's a state prosecution. Ultimately, it could go to the Supreme Court, but it's very, very costly, as I understand it. They don't do it often, or they may be reluctant to get involved here. And if they do, it's going to be a long time away, and much will have played out certainly after the election. So if he is incarcerated, that would explain the volatility of the Republican National Conference. There are other things at play here. I'm not going to bring them up today. I want to take another look at Epstein and Maxwell's book, particularly some of the astrology around Maxwell. Would she actually spill the beans? Well, the book that she's been writing, they say, is just really her trying to say she's innocent. They got all this wrong. She never did anything wrong. But would she spill the beans on? Would she spill the beans on people? Also, the non-disclosure agreements seem to be expiring. We've had the Apprentice producer come out and really show the reality behind the reality TV show, which was nothing to do with the reality, but of course that gave Trump the springboard. But it was a con. It was all about a con. Okay, so yeah. So I mean, there's something big going to come for Trump beyond what we already see. I've been saying that for a while, but I'll get to that. We'll drill down on that in another reading. I want to see. Let's just test this. I just want to see, because every time I ask about prison, I see him in a bed, ill. And do I think he's going to make the election? I don't know. I just always see him ill. Do I think he's planning a coup? Yeah, I saw them chatting about it in his plane. In some way, I don't know how they would do that in the privacy in the air, but it was definitely a conversation in a plane. They're already talking about that. Okay, so let's just see. So I'm using the Gilded Tarot by Marchetti. All right, let's have a look. Cairo Marchetti. All right. So is the judge going to impose a significant financial penalty? Just a few cards. So we get here the Magician, manifestation, and we get heavy decisions, and we get the Queen of Pentacles, which came up before. 10 of Pentacles, yeah, absolutely. This is going to be in the past. Okay, so this is going to be, for his past crimes, there's going to be a significant penalty here. And I don't know why it could also be against the Trump organization. I don't know why I would even say that, but anyway, there's a significant financial penalty coming. All right. Let's have a look about am I on the right track? Is this some kind of incarceration, but not sort of a non-mainstream? Now, whatever form that takes. Let's see what Spirit can show me. So we got the Ace of Cups here, a lot of emotion. A lot of religious symbology as well. I want to ask, does he actually want to be thrown in jail? Because I'm kind of getting that he does. All right, let's just, okay, just all right. So does Donald Trump want to be thrown in jail? Jesus on the cross is what I'm seeing. A martyr. Does Donald Trump want to be thrown in jail? Is he stupid enough, mad enough to want this? Does Donald Trump want to be? Is that delusional? The Empress card. Yeah, so fundraising money, and then the Five of Cups lost. So there's an abundance here with the Empress, something coming to fruition in time, but then we also get this death and loss type card. We get the Hanged Man. Okay, so that's pausing, suspending. We get the Four of Cups in the past. So disappointed, but one cup, there it is, one cup remaining. He sees this literally as something that he could benefit from. Hope is crowning this reading. And the outcome is the Knight of Swords, mobilizing his base, truth, the soldier, the quickness of it all. We get justice in the here and now. We get the Chariot, out of control. Seven of Wands, defending oneself in the hopes and fears, and then we got the Page of Wands and the Ten of Wands. Okay, so the King of Swords. Not necessarily. I don't get, like, if this was a stronger major arcana or a higher court card, I would say he's got a strong wish. But no, he hasn't got a strong wish. Here's what it is. He hasn't got a strong wish to go to jail, but he wants all the benefits, the martyrdom and the mobilization that going to jail would bring. So we get having to make weighing things up. We get the Queen of Wands and the past and 10 of Pentacles. So he wants what that would bring. It's a fundraising thing. It's a mobilization thing. But when it comes to the reality of it, nah, he doesn't want that. Or if he does, he wants a light sentence. So in a way, if there is this light, okay, probation for a year, some kind of incarceration for 6 months at home with leave to go out and campaign, that would play into his hands completely. And I don't think the judges are going to give him that. All right, so let's see. So really, he's got a couple of, he's trying to upend, the Supreme Court. If there's a too harsh a penalty, it'll be straight to the, well, not straight. He's got to go through the appeals. So there's a lot, the appeals process in the state, but it would be more favourable to him if the sentence is unduly harsh. I would not like to be in Maryan's shoes, but he has to treat the convicted felon ex-president like everybody else. Okay. There could be a short sentence. That might be a way through this for the judge. A short sentence. Okay, let's have a look. Is this correct? Will Trump get a short, some kind of purpose-built, non-mainstream type of will Trump get a short prison sentence? Will Trump get a short prison sentence? So the Knight of Pentacles, consistency, has to be consistent with the law, and the Queen of Swords, he has to apply the logic and the law to this. The Four of Pentacles that can be insecurity. That's, the difficulty with the decision. This person's not prepared to give anything up, but it can also be a moat around a castle type of scenario as well. The World card is in the past, endings and beginnings, and we get control. Don't underestimate this judge. Absolutely. Five of Swords, we get abuse, some kind of sabotage. We get the Three of Wands. Really, this is kind of something's offshore and about to come in. It's like doing the hard work and then getting some kind of result from it. We get the Magician card, manifestation. I think this judge knows exactly what he's doing. Page of Pentacles in the hopes and fears. And the Empress card. That's a yes. Queen of Wands. She comes forward with, the Ace of Wands in her hand, plan, and then we get the Four of Wands, again, suggesting some kind of home environment. So I'm not going to say house arrest because then, but I'm going to say it's like if it isn't house arrest, it's purpose built for him. It's more like a home environment. There's a prison sentence. Okay, let's just say there's a short prison sentence. That's what I asked, and the Empress is a major arcana in the outcome, and we get judgment time. It's inevitable. So I'm going to come out there. I'm going to say there's a short, some kind of prison sentence, and it is a fine as well. And it's almost like the fine is probably more than what we're expecting. So I think there is some kind of prison sentence there. All right, let's see if the judge is safe. There's been beefed up security there. I did see it's so volatile out there. He's encouraging this. It's like he's out of control. Like, as I said, anybody else would take their family aside and say, well, what are we going to do with, this uncle? Nobody's doing that. The country's not doing that. It's like, anyway. All right. Is Judge Michonne safe? Because this is really where the reality would come in. If any of those jurors, witnesses were harmed, any judge were harmed in any way, is Judge Michonne safe? They shouldn't have to go through this. Is Judge Michonne safe? It's not a game. It's like these MAGAs think it's a reality TV show. So the Three of Wands, yes. And like this is good work for him. This is like he's prepared for this. And the Magician, manifestation, strong yes cards. He has the protection. He's but he's being worn down. But there are boundaries there. So he's concerned about his family, but they're safe too. Okay, so there's a boundaries and guardrails there. They're safe. They're okay. All right, what about the witnesses? What about the witnesses? Okay, Stormy Daniels, Michael Cohen would be the two. Are the witnesses safe? Are the witnesses safe? They certainly want to get at them. So we get help, so giving somebody help. So let's see, is Stormy Daniels safe? Is Stormy Daniels safe? The Chariot and Death. So it's the end of the roller coaster for her. She's incredibly relieved, but she's right to take precautions. We get judgment, the judgment being handed down. This is major stuff with her. My psychic friend sent me a meme. Let me just, I'll post it, but it's about America being saved by a porn star. I don't want to denigrate her. She's much more than that. The Ace of Pentacles in the past, and then we get defending herself. That's what I saw clairvoyantly. They do want to get at her. Seven of Pentacles. She has a plan here. You could see her actually leave the country now. Knight of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. She'll do her interviews. She'll do what she needs to do. If there's probably another book in it as well. But this is a crossroads time for her. She's smart enough to do what she needs to do. She worked hard for justice, okay? And I think she's probably going to, Hangman pausing stuff, she's probably going to leave the country for a little while. I think Cohen might also do something similar, just get away for a little while. But they foresaw this. Cohen and Daniels are not stupid. Okay, Michael Cohen safe? He lost so much weight. Is Cohen safe? Is Cohen safe? Just one or two cards. Eight of Cups, walking away from what no longer serves him. Betrayal and brokenhearted. Yeah, like he's okay, but mentally maybe he's spent. The Eight of Wands, things moving very quickly. Strength is in the past. This has cost him physically. Seven of Cups, choices. And then we get the Nine of Pentacles. So again, he'll probably write another book on this, but I think there's a great deal of relief it's over. The Ace of Cups, great deal of emotion, weariness. If I had to look at these cards, I'd say all what has happened to Cohen has cost him badly. Yeah, it's his health. It's his health in the hopes and fears. And then we get the Moon. There a lot of volatility and the Tower. No, he's the one, and a lot of anxiety. He's the one that needs to look after himself. If I were Cohen, Cohen, if you're watching this, get away, get out of the country for a little while. You can go to the Caribbean or somewhere sunny and do your podcasts from there. You've got the Tower and the Moon card. And so, yeah, there's a hell of a cost physically for him. He's got to look after his health. He's highly anxious. He has, he'd be the one that I'd worry about in terms of consequences for standing up to the MAGAs and Trump. Daniels has already got it all figured out. Cohen, I would suggest, needs to be fairly careful. He'll be okay, but his health is really suffering. Okay, now to finish off, the jury. All right, now I did get they're trying to dox them. They're trying to find out who they are. I mean, for crying out loud. Are the jury safe? These 12 people that just did their job. Are the jury safe? Is the jury safe? Is the jury safe? Yes, the full card. Yes, they are okay. And justice. In fact, they will go down as having done their job. Ultimately, at the end of the day, they are being protected. Again, this kind of walled off feeling that I also get from Trump, the Seven of Swords, that in the past. So already something has happened with them. Somebody has leaked something. In the sky, we get the Seven of Cups. Again, the MAGAs. What choices are the MAGAs making? There's a delusional aspect to all this. 10 of Cups, their families. So we could hear something, some kind of threat against their families. But they've got a lot of protection. Absolutely. The law, very highly protected. They could have been worried about a woman on there. Something might have already been called or happened to her or her family. And we have here the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, they're safe. They're okay. All right. They're being protected. Cohen's the one I'd worry about. Okay. But his health, I think the Tower and the Moon card is for his mental and physical health. He is absolutely spent. Okay. All right. Now, I do want to, before I finish off, I want to go to the Middle East. Of course, Biden has spoken very well and outlined a peace process, ceasefire, hostage release. And now we're getting massive protests again, still in Israel, with signs saying Biden save the hostages from Netanyahu. Hamas have agreed. Netanyahu, who supposedly was behind, agreed to this, has come out and said, no, we're not going to finish. So you can see what Biden is doing. He's calling everything out to see where the truth lies. It's almost a challenge to Netanyahu. Netanyahu's been undermining Biden since the get-go. Okay. And undermining his own country, the people within his country. All right, let's take a look at astrologically. It's a good time for a ceasefire or a deal to be inked, if I can just put it like that. We've got the Venus, Jupiter there, and Mercury as well. I think it's a good time. If it's going to happen, it could be now. Will there be a deal? Will there be a deal? I'm going to say, I think let's just say Biden would like it if Netanyahu was removed from power. Okay, so Seven of Cups, illusion, delusion, two of swords, crossroads. Neither side. I mean, this is just, I don't have to explain these cards, but I do get the foundation is the Eight of Pentacles, and that's hard work, a lot of skill here. We get the Tower as in the past. I'm happy to see that in the past. We get the Queen of Wands, a plan that is taken forward with a great deal of motivation. And we get the Knight of Pentacles. So we could see consistency. We could see something, a breakthrough happen in relation to this ceasefire, I hope. So the Strength card and the Page of Cups and offer was a strong plan and a strong, there's a wiliness to what Biden has done here. Absolutely. 5 of Pentacles. Okay, so again, got to bring those hostages home, clarified by the World card, endings and beginnings, and the 9 of Pentacles, the reconstruction of Gaza. Look, there is a chance. I'm not going to say with the 5 of Pentacles, overwhelmingly, go for it. Yes, no. I'm not going to say that. There's still a way to go. But I'm going to say there is a chance of a peace deal here. We get the Fool card, is the beginning and the ending here. So I do see, I do see a chance of this succeeding. There's just a way to go yet. Bring the hostages home. Now's the time. You want them, those that are still alive, home. Then now is the time. You want ceasefire. You want the Gaza innocent civilians being killed and maimed, and the bloodshed and the terror that we've all seen. You want that to end. There's a good chance that Biden knew what he was doing when he came out and outlined that peace plan. Let's pray for it and hope that it comes to pass. Okay. All right. I'll leave that there. There's more to read on later on, but I'll come back again when I'm able, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.